I have always felt God's presence in my life even back when I was a child. But I really didn't know Him until I invited Him to my life. It is free and it is for you too, and this is my way of presenting God. We really don't know what that presence means until we invite Him in our hearts. Jesus is my mentor. I realize more and more, if I just take baby steps, I'll be fine. My name is Aida K. I am Armenian and I was born in Ethiopia. I grew up very, very insecure, very scared of people, peer. And I think that took me over all the way towards my whole journey of life. It made me insecure, it made me afraid, it made me to a point where I couldn't even look at you to talk. I was always looking down. My parents, they were arranged marriage. Dad from Ethiopia, mom from Syria. They made an arrangement marriage with pictures. I believe as a child, when we grow up, something happens that totally takes your thoughts, your life away. I became scared is because the in the neighborhood, a man that molested me. I believe because of that, my innocence was gone already. I believe because of that, I became closed, I became shy. Even I remember in school in Ethiopia, after whatever happens, going to the school, I would wet myself. Because not right then or then, but a fear of, okay, I don't want the teacher to call my name. I don't want this and I don't want that. That fear. I used to wet myself. When I was around 11 years old, we moved to New York and put into public school. I looked like different to the American kids. I had eyebrows to here, hair under my arms, hair on my legs. My wardrobes were totally different. So I was ridiculed left and right, laughed at.
Ida really didn't travel much. She was very protected as a child growing up. She didn't venture out on her own, other than from home and to school, from what I remember. Even going to work in Manhattan in her late teens, her sister would have to go pick her up from work. So she was not really on her own in New York growing up.
So being already insecure, afraid, and shy, and not talking to people, came into this big, massive school, which kids are very cruel. So my life I dove into darkness, sadness, and I stayed away. I didn't go to school. I cut all the time. And through those moments, I remember now that I always had the relationship with God, but I didn't know, but I knew He was there, but I didn't know Him. I felt Him. So I remember one point my mom got a letter from school saying that I'm absent. And my mom is like, what is this? And my mom and dad dove themselves into work so they can support family. So they wasn't there, So I cut. And so when my mom asked me, I said, oh, Mom, I probably was sitting in a wrong chair. And so they believed me because I don't think they even had a clue that Ida would do such a thing like that. I dove into my sadness, to my fear, to my everything. So that really took over my life. So if I think right now the way I should have thought then, I would have conquered it and not allowed it. But I didn't. I had no clue, no understanding of how I should protect myself or whatever. Instead, I allowed my thoughts to control my feelings, to control my fear and everything. I didn't even finish school, 10th grade. I said, I can't. I don't want to go to school. I begged my parents. Then my parents were like, okay, what do you want to do? And, my mom was like, what are you going to do? And I always did my mom's hair when she went out for something. She goes, why don't you just go to beauty school, Ida? You want to do that? And I said, sure. But I felt good because I was doing something. I didn't have ridicules. I didn't have this and that because we were all learning the same thing and I loved it and it worked. My mom always wanted to go back to Lebanon. So when we went there, she realized, oh my God, America was good. What happened? So we came back. This time we came back to California. But before coming to California, I met my ex-husband. In 3 months, I met him. We got married. And before my parents moved, me and him, my ex-husband, moved to California. Worst thing I've ever done. But I stayed 17 years with him.
Ida really didn't travel much. She was very protected.
I grew up very, very insecure.
Every day I find myself a little bit more like her and I love it.
I dove into my sadness, to my fear.
She was becoming her own person.
I can't read and write.
We didn't make it any easier on her either, I'm sure.
There is mental illness. We all have
She
it.
always underestimated herself.
I am transformed from inside out.
I mean, it wasn't fun, like having roles, but it helped us become who we are.
Because I know the Lord, I'm not sinning. Excuse me, I do.
I wish for her to be able to recognize her own ability.
We don't give her enough gratitude for what she does.
I'm coming in that serene life where if somebody comes and tells me, hey Ida, guess what? So-and-so was gossiping about you. Now I'm like, really? I go, here, I'll give you some more, go have fun. And I'm so happy. My name is Aida K. I am Armenian and I was born in Ethiopia.